Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Thursday, June 20th, 2024, post market report. Let me just say this before I even get started. Sitting where I am, looking at all of you, reading through the comments and everything, you all don't even realize how amazing you are. I don't think you do. You're incredible, every single one of you, and I love you from the heart. I mean that. All right, look. With that said, I want to clarify something that it seems like I've confused people. I'm not surprised here. Sometimes maybe I don't say things correctly or whatever it might be. I've been referring a lot, just about every day, to this, the MMRI, with regard to risk in this market, where we're going. Um, maybe I should expand on this a little bit because the end game here is going to be, and you should know this if you've been with me for any length of time. I think the people that I'm confusing, that I heard from, especially today, um, they're probably new here. But the end game is a meltdown in the debt market, which is going to be a moment in history people are not going to believe, where yields are going to spike in an uncontrolled fashion. We're going to see a sell off in the debt market where um, 40, 50 basis point jumps in one day with regard to the 10-year yield, maybe more than that can occur. So let me just cover this real quick. I want to clear up this confusion here. With regard to the MMRI, this is where we stand right now with regard to risk. All right. I believe this is going to fall here further because of the action of central banks, especially the Fed, buying it all. All this talk about a weaker dollar. Um, thanks, Mitch. I really appreciate it. About lower rates, suppressed rates, stuff like that. Depending on who's selected here as the next figurehead or whatever you want to call it, that's going to be put behind the Resolute desk here. It doesn't matter anyway. They don't do a damn thing. It's obviously the central banks running the economy, the markets, the financial system, the entire monetary system. But when you hear particular talk about a weaker dollar, about lowering rates from where they are, all this means is the distortions that exist already are going to get much worse. Now, up until the presidential selection, we're not too far off. There's an interesting phenomenon occurring here. I believe that we are going to see this trend. You see in blue here? Follow lower for a while. Now, we may bottom out somewhere near the presidential selection, and we could see a spike here. Again, this is not going to last forever. We topped out over here at about MMR. I think it was 309 or 310 or 330, somewhere around there. And then we bottomed out here January. Then we made this move higher, pressure on the market. Now we're seeing this. Market's kind of liking it. The Dow finished today over 300. S&P 500, the Nasdaq, they took a little breather here after record high, record high, record high. Imagine our shock. So a mixed market today. Okay, silver, beautiful run today, over 4% higher. Gold, crypto's relatively flat. Dollar put on a little strain today. Anyway, so for those of you that are confused, I really hope that this clears it up for you. Again, I believe we're going to see more buying of debt, which is going to push the 10-year yield lower. This is going to affect this drop here. Stock market is going to go higher. The faster the economy falls through the floor, and we're falling through the floor. We got an interesting take from Neil Cash and Carey, Lex Luthor of the Federal Reserve. Oh, he's admitting now that the economy is weakening. I'll show you that in a minute. But anyway, eventually we're going to get a massive sell-off in the debt market, and that's going to spike this. I mean, forget about the red zone. We're going to go hyper red zone here, and that's going to pressure stock markets around the world. This is the scenario that I have outlined for all of you for many, many years. Okay, so I hope this helps. I'm sorry if I confuse some of you. It seems like quite a few of you who wrote to me today, hey, Greg, what about this? Well, this is the bigger picture eventually. I'm not saying we're going to even bottom out here. It could be sooner. Black swan, who knows, some kind of outlier. But this is how I see it playing out eventually. And I can't imagine another way because it's being set up. We're being set up in a lot of other ways too. Let me talk about this real quick. So what do we know? Central banks, all right, are acquiring gold today. They've been buying gold for, right under our noses for quite a long time here. But central banks here, according to the World Gold Council, are planning on buying much more gold moving forward. Now, why would they be doing this? We are not going, for all of those of you who are being misled on an epic scale by I don't know who, okay, I can only imagine that we're going back to a gold standard. Ain't never happening. They've already killed millions, hundreds of thousands to establish the fiat monetary system, the debt-based model that we have, that we're not going back. Central banks are holding gold and buying more because they know what we know. Eventually, again, meltdown in the debt market on an epic scale. Okay. Pressure on stock markets. Cash is just going to move. It's going to move as it always does into risk off assets, in this case, commodities, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, crude oil, as the dollar gets decimated. And speaking about the dollar, I think we all know this. All right, the dollar obviously is we got a big problem here in the United States. Not only is the banking system in shambles and it's falling apart faster, the world is clearly backing away from the dollar. They're tired of us exporting inflation to the rest of the world. But though all this is what this is really about is a move to a tokenized digital system. Tyler knows what I'm talking about. Thank you. I think we're pretty much on the same page with this. But anyway, that's what's going on here. Do what these banks are doing. What I've been telling you, become your own central bank. Do what they do. Do what the 1% and 2%ers are doing. Let me explain something to you real quick in case you don't know. The 1% and 2%ers they don't hold a lot of cash. They own things. That's what makes the difference between a really rich person and a not so rich person. People think you have to have $1 million in cash laying around to be rich. More than likely, these super rich people, they don't have a lot of cash. They have liquid assets, things they can sell, and if they need to convert into dollars or whatever other central bank currency. But the fact of the matter is they own. You understand? Ownership is huge. And that's why I've been telling you, look, people always ask me, hey, Greg, is it better to rent or own? It's always better to own, even in this bubble environment, because all you're doing is paying for someone else's future, not your own. You got to invest in yourself at every level. I don't know another way to put this to you. But anyway, and I just, I always write notes to myself because I'm a little strange that way. So you can't read this, but I'm going to write this to you. So no better way to hedge against this hyper debt situation than owning commodities, especially gold, and silver more specifically. Anyway, so we're covering a lot of ground here. I want to move forward. You know what? Let me just touch on this real quick. This is Barron's talking about big pharma here. I think all of you here know the job of big pharma and the food industry, at least especially here in the United States, is to make sure you stay sick. They want to provide you with a pill for everything. There's no talk about exercise, eating a good diet. It's about stuffing you. How about this? You turn on the Tell Live Vision, the programs. You're being programmed here, and every other commercial is about a drug. Prescription drugs have also become a new religion too. I'm going to take a pill. It's going to do this for me. It's going to do that for me. That's all they want to do is make sure. As a matter of fact, look, I wrote this down today. Most of you know I practiced medicine for 20 years. So for 20 years, I was at the front line in medicine here. Okay. Diseases running rampant, things like diabetes, hypertension, cancer, even in children. Okay. This was an old person's disease when I was a kid. No more. They're making us sick. They're killing us. And they want us on some drug, no matter what it is, from the moment you're born to the second you take your last breath here. Okay. They don't want to cure you. They want to make you sick. They want to make sure you stay sick. And they want to give you some kind of a pill that's supposed to do something about it. You understand? Break out of this stuff, people. Start to think for yourselves. Obesity, another epidemic that you're not supposed to know about here. We're supposed to appreciate. Man, I can't even get into this stuff. It drives me nuts. So anyway, I want to cover where we're going here with regard to what looks like to me price controls, fixed prices, which is only going to lead to scarcity and rationing of goods moving forward here. Mitch knows exactly what I'm talking about here, people. But if you're, today, we'll talk more about that. I want to talk about this. This is inflation. All right. I've been telling you for the longest time, Since the lie about transitory and temporary, and the Federal Reserve has got a handle on it, so we're in a fight of our lives. We're going to fight inflation. What are central banks doing? They're inflating faster today than they ever have. Okay, there is no fight here. Now, today, I just happen to be flipping through, CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business, as I always do, and they're pushing the same narrative as they always do. It's an unbelievable thing. You flip through the mainstream media at the same time. In other words, if you see a particular story being covered on, let's say, CNBC, and then you quickly flip to Fox Business, you're going to see a correlation here. They're telling you the same thing at the same time and with using the same wording. Okay, we all know what they do. The mainstream propaganda ministry, they're all reading a script that's coming across the teleprompter. You understand? So they're told what to say and when to say it. It's almost like mass hypnosis. You understand? So the theme today was inflation is coming down. Inflation is coming down. Inflation is coming down. And they usually repeat it 3 times. There's certain little hints that you have to pay attention to. And that's one of them. Now, I want to show you, this is right off of the U.S. Consumer Price Index, or the CPI. Since 2020, what do you notice here? Consumer prices are rising. They're not dropping. Inflation is not dropping. So they hide this stuff in plain sight because they think you're too stupid to look for it. They think you're going to believe what they tell you. So the propaganda is, again, getting greater, as we predicted would happen at the end of last year. They're going to lie to you. They're going to tell you where to look. They're going to deceive you in every way they possibly can here and create all kinds of distractions and deceptions. Anyway, this is going to get much worse here. Central banks are continuing to inflate on a massive scale. Governments around the world, which is central banks here, looking for every excuse they could come up with to devalue the currency, to pull cash into the now war, creating hatred, a reason for war. We're going to see more of this moving forward here. So I just want you to look. Again, I urge you to just, use the Federal Reserve's own website as a weapon against them, because all the data is right there. Consumer Price Index, all this stuff. There's proof that what they're saying is a lie. But again, Jeffrey knows what I'm talking about. No, I'm not amazing, man. You're all amazing. I'm just a guy sitting here. Someone thinks I look like a cartoon. I don't feel like a cartoon. I got this. I got a cold here. Okay, ain't COVID or anything like that. I'm sure if I went to the freaking doctor, they're gonna tell me I have COVID. It's a freaking virus. Okay. Anyway, let us move forward. A few other things before we talk about price control. So stay with me a little bit. Tyler knows what I'm talking about. So if you recall, that is you and we discussed. I don't like to own debt. Okay, you all know that. I think if you're owning debt here, you gotta have your brain, re-engaged here or something. If you own debt, short-term debt or long-term debt, it's a safe play, no doubt about it. But is it really? The crypto wave. Thank you, I appreciate that. If you're owning debt here, U.S. debt in any way, shape, or form, you're guaranteed to lose money because whatever you're investing in short-term or long-term debt is not even keeping up with the rate of inflation here. You're being robbed blind. The mechanism has been so weaponized against us. Well, there was a time when a regular good old-fashioned savings account would keep you above water with regard to inflation. But now you get nothing, virtually nothing on your high-yield savings account, 5%, 6%, not even keeping up with the real rate of inflation by any means. We all know that. But, anyway, so you and I discussed how I said we here covered that bonds were going to rally moving forward. In other words, debt was going to be bought up, and that causes a rally in the debt market. So now this is from today, Market Watch. Retail investors are turning to bonds like never before. All right. This is something, again, that we called before anybody else. Imagine my shock. Imagine your shock. You see, we are so far ahead of the curve, not because we're any smarter than anybody else. The truth of the matter is, we just know what they want to do and what they're going to do before they do it. And as I've said to you, this gives us an insurmountable edge. Now, a couple of other things here. All this hype around Elon Musk. Why do they want you to focus on this thing, this guy? I don't know if you worship the guy. He has a big, humongous following. People think this guy's like the next second coming, whatever it is here. Ignore the hype around Elon Musk. Also, ignore AI mania. Look how I circled this. AI, I told you this days ago. Stop with this, okay? I'm not going to answer any. Look, people, I get so many questions and stuff in my email boxes. I'm not going to answer this stuff. I cover everything you need to know right here, okay? This is a mania, honestly, and you're going to get hurt. I do believe that tech stocks, I mentioned 3 this morning, okay, in my morning video. Watch it if you have. I'm not going to even repeat myself. I hate doing it. All right. I said Microsoft, Amazon, and NVIDIA. But, tech, big tech, is going to benefit greatly from this. Let me just show you again so you know what we're talking about. This, until it ends. And this is not going to end before the selection, okay? So just keep in mind, again, what we're doing, you and I, is we're taking in the bigger picture. And we're using every weapon at our disposal to at least profit or stay above water with regard to the current deteriorating situation. The economy, we're dead. We're dead. And here's more proof. Cash and Carry is now admitting that there are some signs of softening. I think maybe he needs a little Viagra or something. I have no idea what this guy's problem is at multiple levels. He's freaking the Lex Luthor of the Federal. The man is twisted, okay? But now he's admitting what he would not admit before, that the economy is in fact softening. How about it's in free fall, you imbecile? Okay, I'm referring to Cash Carry himself, whatever the freak this thing is. It's also subhuman, not human. What did I write here? Worsening the economy means a higher stock market. How about that? I think we've been nailing this one to the wall. But there's no accountability here. Up until just a while ago, we were doing great. Economy's doing fine. All cylinders. I can't see anything but blue skies moving forward. But now, all of a sudden, we're softening. Something that you and I have been saying for the longest time. I think this guy's, again, he's got a erectile dysfunction issue here. Maybe his wife wants to smack him across the face or something. I have no freaking idea. But I have no idea. What can I tell you? More propaganda. Look at the stuff I just write to myself. It's just stuff that pops into my head. Economy is slowing dramatically. Inflation is rising faster. And the money velocity, people, we've covered this at length repeatedly. The rate at which cash is moving through our slowing economy is picking up. What does that tell you? Inflation is going higher. I can't stand it, people. You don't understand. Some of you maybe do. I cannot stand being lied to. The freaking television, that's all it does. Turn it off. But do you realize that 99% probably of the population gets their news from the propaganda ministries telling them that inflation is dropping? Really? How does this look? How about no? Consumer prices are going much higher. Much, much higher. But they're going to tell us everything and distract us and deceive us. Now, let's move forward here. Here's the deception that's being set up with regard to price control. So Biden, the man, look, I'm going to just say something here. I think the man suffers, and I mean this from a professional standpoint, being that I practiced medicine for 20 years. He's demented. Okay. He can't help the fact that he's demented. So Biden White House applauds Walmart, Amazon, and for grocery discounts amid inflation fight. There's no inflation fight. It's 100% fake. They will not point their finger at the Federal Reserve, who creates cash out of nothing and who has gone out of their way to deliberately create the environment we're in. But they can't do that. This is a setup here. What did I write? Fixed prices, price controls coming, shortages, and rationing, in case you don't know. And don't take my word for this. Okay. Greg Mannarino is going to let you all in on a little secret here that you're not supposed to know. I want you to do a little bit of homework, just this much at the end of this video. You know what your homework is? I'm going to give you a little assignment, and you tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Mitch is going to do his homework. Thank you, buddy. Here's the homework I want you to do. Look up what happens in this kind of environment, rising inflation, when a government starts to implement price fixing and price controls. Invariably, okay, there are some economists here that follow this blog. I know there are, because I hear from you all the time. Tell everyone if Greg is wrong. This leads to shortages. This leads to rationing, even food rationing, and a seriously decaying society, which we're already in now. We are decaying on every level. On a moral level, we don't even know. You can't even discern today what a man or a woman is, or what bathroom they should use. That should tell you where we're going here. Okay. But that's, if people don't like the stuff that I say, you can unsubscribe at any moment because I don't give a damn. Okay. I say what I want. I'm not reading no teleprompter. I'm telling you how I feel. And I think 99% of you are in the same boat as I am. Okay. This whole thing is coming apart at every single possible level. But this is what they're doing here is they're setting us up. We are going to see scarcity. We are going to see shortages. So I would expect we're going to see price controls because inflation is getting better because we see Biden, the mummy creature thing, vomitous miss puke that it is, although maybe he's not responsible because he is demented and maybe brain dead. Okay. There's no inflation fight here. If there were an inflation fight, do you think that governments would be spending on everything that they are now, on war, on propaganda, the money supply ballooning right now, debts and deficits, hyper ballooning? Who's making up the difference? It's central banks. Who's paying for it? You are, like we always do. I'm gonna blow a gasket. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna blow it. So honestly, that's what they're setting up here. We know where this is going. We are in decline, despite the fact that there are some brain dead freaking people who think that there is a correlation between the stock market at record highs and the economy. No, you and I have been saying the faster the economy free falls, the higher the market's going to go, and we have nailed it to the wall. No one's nailed it better than you and me. I mean, nobody. Sweating, man. Sorry. Anyway, I think we're on the same page, people. Look what I wrote here. What better way to extort control? And they're going to do it. They're extorting this by making us suffer, okay? By making us suffer more. Again, the middle class is being systematically eradicated. Neo-feudal system. This 3-tier society with the middle, this is new. Okay, if those of you that know your history out here, they don't like it. They want to go back into the serfdom. The overlords and the serfs at the bottom, people begging for help. Please provide these. Overlords here sitting there in their palaces, while everybody else here, is told to eat bugs and be happy about it. That's where we're going, and this is all by design. But again, this is leading to a climax here, and price controls, price fixing, scarcity, rationing. It's all part of the picture. All part of the picture. And you and I, look, I'm preaching to the choir here because I know that all of you understand where we're going here with all this. And this too. There's this collusion between big pharma and the food producers out here. We're being poisoned. We're being poisoned to death. Children getting cancer today. And it's getting worse. They don't want to tell you these things. Let me ask you this. For those of you that may be overweight or consider yourself overweight, have you tried a low-fat diet? How did that work out for you? Don't work, does it? No, because your body is a fat-burning machine. If you force your body to use sugar for energy, you're going to stay fat. No matter how freaking low your fat intake is. You start increasing your fat intake. Get your body to start burning fat instead of sugar or carbs. You will lose weight so fast your head just spin around like the freaking Exorcist. But no, they want you on some kind of perversion here. These low-fat diets, which don't work. Okay, you need proof? How about your own life? Okay, but they want you on. That's another thing. Go to the supermarket. Just walk through a supermarket. Look at all the food that they put right in your sight. It's all the garbage. All the garbage food, all this stuff that's going to make you sick. All the good stuff is up here and it's down here, out of sight. This is all a game, all of it. And you and me, they think that we're pawns. See, but we're not. We're too smart at every level. That's why we're winning. This is a channel for winners. You understand? Greg says the same thing every day. I only cover the economy of the market. Sometimes I bleed off here into health and stuff because I do have a very keen insight into it, although I've been out of medicine for many, many years. I could still practice if I wanted to. Anyway, people, look, we got this, you and me, okay? And let these freaks say what they want to say because we got this, and because we know what's happening at every freaking level. How many of you right here, all right, disagree with even one thing that I just said in this video? I bet 99% of you probably don't disagree with a damn thing I just said. And of course, there's going to be those people here with ulterior motives that are looking to discredit me or you, and let them try all they want. Okay. It can't happen. We have built something here together, you and me, that is tremendous, that is huge, and we're growing. I mean, granted, I got what? Over 250,000 subs ain't nothing. Okay. Like I always tell you, if I lick toilet bowls for 8 Tide Pods, I'd have like a 4 or 5 million subs. But you see, it doesn't matter. We We've built something that's real here, and I am damn proud of that. All of us are part of it. Everything. This is not my thing, as I always tell you. This is our thing. And I am very happy to say that. All right, look, I'm going to let you all go, people. I covered so much here. I want you to think about these things here that we've covered here and where we're going. Price controls, fixed prices invariably leads to a society that melt down here, scarcity. What better way to force their will on us than to starve us, than to force us into rationing food? Prices still rising, although the propaganda is telling us, they're trying to tell us no. Neil, cash and carry, finally admitting what we all know. Imagine my shock here. I hope I cleared this up, people, okay? Honestly. Retail investors turning to bonds. You and I called this months and months and months ago. Bond market's going to rally until it doesn't. And we're going to be on top of that too. Why central banks are hoarding gold? Because they know what you and me know. I don't know what else to say, people. Let them play their games. We will play our games. And I don't care what they do. We will be way ahead of the curve on them. Okay, they're trying to kill us in a literal sense. We're not going to let that happen. All right, look, please share the video. If I covered something here you found interesting, please share it. Get it out there. Those thumbs up, super valuable. We're doing pretty good here. 563 at 1,300 people here right now. 26 minutes into this video. I need your help with that, people. And I'm counting on you to get our message out there. This is our thing. All right? I may be the daddy, but this is our thing. This guy here loves you from the heart. I mean that, people. We'll see each other in the morning. And until that time, please, as I always say, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, okay? That's it.